Hello and welcome back to the Dark Heresy Alpha. We have 2 investigations that we have been given, and we may or may not choose to do them. These investigations are 1. Find out what this agent is doing down here. So, they're down here investigating something. They have an agent called Rufinus Scrag who is somewhere, and that's about all we know. So we need some more info on this, and this is what the sister has asked us to find out. She has also asked us to find this guy, who is gathering information, and he has gone missing, so yeah, we'll see what we can find out. Anyway, 2 routes for us to go here. Let's go, I don't know, left? It's just kind of like arbitrary, but let's go left. Sure. Okay. So that looks like something I can yeah, I can shoot this. Okay. Do it again. Perfect. Okay. Head down here and grab the goods. Oh, don't even need to go down there. Okay. That's that then. Alright. I do want to try something. Oh. Acolyte, I have business with you. Acolyte, if I am not mistaken, I am pleased to welcome you. Your name has been on everyone's lips at the Bastion lately. A woman in a plain robe stands in your path. Beneath her hood, the lenses of an old eye augmentation emit an unpleasant, buzzing whir. Assisting the Sister of Battle is doubtless a good deed, but still, an acolyte ought to work. The woman pauses for a few seconds. With proper inquisitors. Do you not agree? My patron, Mistress Millicentilia, is right now inspecting the excavation outside this little settlement. A courtesy visit would be, at the very least, prudent on your part. I can escort you to her immediately. Okay. You claim to be an acolyte. On what ground should I believe you? She glances around and, assured of privacy, drags back the hem of her robe to reveal sturdy synth leather armor and a sigil dully gleaming on her belt. Not many in the Imperium would be foolish enough to wear a sigil without the Inquisitor's authorization. Wouldn't you say? Have you been following me? Is it such a difficult task to monitor someone who openly displays a sigil from the moment they arrive in the Hab Zone? The woman shakes her head in disapproval. What is happening in Maris Portum? Forgive me, but that information is classified, and I am under orders not to disclose it. Inquisitor Millicentilia will tell you all you need to know. Where exactly did you say the excavation is located? As you pass the Sisters' camp, keeping it to your left, look for the pipes heading to beyond the town and follow them. Sooner or later you will arrive at the excavation site, but it would be best if you allow me to guide you there. I will decide for myself whom to visit and when. The woman shrugs with indifference. A bit of advice, acolyte. Do not keep important people waiting. Lady Millicentilia holds vital intelligence on the Maris Portum Sectoris. It is your call, and you will bear the consequences. Alright, she's not going to tell us what to do. And she probably outranks us, but she's not going to tell us what to do. We are actually going to go all the way back over here, because I want to see whether we can reactivate that thing that we had to, like... What's happening? Hey, you with the tin throat. That Baron politely asked that you pack it in with these sermons. If you try to make a fuss, he'll ask you impolitely. Okay. Well, that's not good. Faithless ignorance. Once again, you stand in the way of repentance. Once again, you take salvation away from these people. We will endure it, but only for now. Uh-huh. Yeah, endure it. That's what the God Emperor told you to do. The rest of you, get out of here. Don't you have jobs to do? Are we about to fight? No. Okay. That's fine. Track down the sergeant's Vox signal. Yeah, that's what I was trying to reactivate. Okay. Oh, is it over here now? I think so. Oh, not that way. It might be through there. Or he might be up here, potentially. 99. Oh, here? Low signal strength, recommending find another source. Ah, okay. So we found another one. I now understand how this quest is going to go. So, close that. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around, find the signal source, and then when we find it, go track it down and click on something. And then once we found enough of those, we'll find the sergeant. Okay. Now I understand what we're doing a little bit better. Right, let's head this way then. So we probably could have gone with the woman in rags, but that's okay. Reinforced container heavily corroded. If you drop something heavy on it, it will surely break open. Can I, with you, shoot this? And again. Okay, I can see what they're trying to show here. They're trying to show that there's now environmental things where you can destroy bits of the environment and it changes the level. That's kind of cool. Alright, I'm going to ask if she can take me to where I need to go. Nope. Okay. Well, I'm assuming that once I go here, then that'll be fine. We'll end up wherever we're going. Cool. Also, I was talking last time about when I thought this game might come out. I've readjusted my thoughts, because Rogue Trader still has DLC until the end of next year, which is wild as well. And this person is definitely getting tortured. We can proceed to the next stage of the interrogation, though you will find it even less to your liking. Alright, well, ooh, what have we got here? Inspect. The echoing footfalls caused stone dust to fall from the spiral grooves on the drill. Examine. Ooh. Yeah, that's cool looking. Okay. Okay. That was purely to show off the graphics. That's like, we've got cool cutscenes now. Which, you know, admittedly, they are cool. Right. And let's head over here. Looming over the Recolager, curled up on the ground, the Inquisitor asks for what does not seem to be the first time. Have you remembered anything? One of the two men watching the torture clears his throat. We have guests, Inquisitor. The other man immediately adds, the acolyte who's been prowling around the Maris Portum. That's him, mistress. Inquisitor Millicentilia turns to you, wipes the blood off her blade, and slides it into the sheath attached to her belt. Anton Zerb's newest protege. I thought you would make an appearance sooner or later. I'm going to stop hovering over these things that talk about what things have changed to make us get to this situation, because I realize that most of them are basically just telling us what's happened in the game up until this point, which is cool for context, but not so cool given that we want to play that later. So anyway, Millicentilia's gaze shifts to Epion. Spes, I have not seen you in some time. It is a pity you've decided to use your talents in the service of another Inquisitor. Epion gives the Inquisitor a reserved nod, but does not say a word in response. We finally meet in person. My name is... The Inquisitor cuts you off with a wave of her hand. An acolyte's life is short. Do not expect me to remember someone who might perish at any moment. Lily Centilia examines you, tapping a finger on the grip of her pistol. Her hand lingers near the clasp on her holster, then relaxes. Since you are here, that means you were sent by Lord Inquisitor Zerb. Only he knows about the mission. Gareth, see to the witness's wounds. He is not permitted to die before the end of the interrogation. Dariel, I'll be waiting for a report on our progress. As for you, she looks back at you. Your arrival is the best evidence that Lord Inquisitor is losing patience. Isn't that correct? The Lord Inquisitor wishes to know the reason for your prolonged stay in the Maris Portum Sectoris and is offering his assistance. My expedition team has gone missing from the excavation site. Workers, disciples of the machine cult, and guards. It started with the first seaquake that hit this hab zone. The workers complained of fatigue and ceaseless nightmares. This is not a local incident. People all over the Maris Portum Sectoris are suffering from similar symptoms. Many have likewise disappeared without a trace, more and more going missing every day. Reports have shown that these disappearances are systematic, so we can rule out natural population decline. We must learn why people in the Hab Zone are disappearing, and you will begin your investigation right here in my camp. Even an amateur could see there are signs of looting. It might have been more than one group. Was it several? Find out. Reconstruct the events that took place at the camp. I graciously give you my permission to use the sacred mechanisms bestowed upon the Ordo Xenos by members of the cult Mechanicus. The Inquisitor gestures to several bulky cogita cases. One of them bears an inscription in calligraphic writing under the abundance of purity seals. It reads, Hollow Invoker. Alright, what's a Hollow Invoker? Unique set of archaeotech mechanisms capable of briefly reproducing a set of hypothetical images in a confined hollow ray space. Okay, what is a Hollow Invoker in like even simpler terms? But okay, thank you. And do not forget to interrogate the witness. She nods at the body writhing at her feet. The old man knows something, but it seems my methods have caused him to lose the last of his memory. I do not have the time to coax the answers out of him, so you will deal with it instead. When you're done, report everything you have learned. Any questions? Yeah, what's a Hollow Invoker? Oh, I'll say it the way it said it. Hollow Invoker, I've never heard of such a machine. That is unsurprising. This is a rare piece of archaeotech that even I had to go to great lengths to obtain. The spirits of such machines have the ability to briefly project hololithic images based on the archive data, be it pics, cogita records, or tactical diagrams. Okay. I still don't entirely know what it is, but I'm sure we'll find out. What have you been searching for down here? Millicentilia's eyebrows shoot up. Do your job, acolyte. Okay. And what will you be doing while I perform this task? Millicentilia's eyes narrow ominously. I have other equally important matters to attend to, and asking me such questions requires a level of trust that you have not earned. Okay, remind me what is it that I must do? Investigate the excavation site and piece together the evidence, reconstruct the events at the camp, then talk to the witness and report back to me. Okay, I was seeing whether you could not ask this question, but no, you have to ask it. You said my task is to learn why people are disappearing in the Hab Zone. Would it not be better to focus our efforts on finding the workers instead? It is true that rescuing rabble is not my responsibility. However, I cannot ignore the fact that there is some connection between the time frames of these disappearances, both of my people and the locals. There is also the mysterious circumstances of these disappearances and the spread of nightmares in the Hab Zone. As for what that connection is, that is for you to find out. Try not to announce to all of Maris Portum that the Inquisition is operating here. Millicentilia glances at your unassuming attire. Though, if you introduced yourself as Lord Inquisitor, I doubt anyone in this place would believe you. I'm ready to start my investigation. One of my specialists is already investigating the lower level of the excavation. Find out what he's been able to discover. Take this amulet, that way he'll know I sent you. Millicentilia pauses to think. I expect the two of you to work together on this. I need results. Strange charm. Covered in xenos symbols. Oh, okay. That's kind of weird. Okay. Well, we have a lot now in our inquisitorial journal. Okay. So we have this guy who went missing, and she wants us to find out about the other missing people, so that works perfectly for us. No matter what we're doing, we have a bunch of missing people. Cool. Right. We could force access to the cogitator. Sure. It is immediately apparent that this cogitator has been maintained well. The machine spirit responds to your request eagerly. The vid screen lights up with the words, "Authorization successful. Access level acolyte." Let's view the inventory log. The vid screen shows a record of all the machinery units employed at the excavation site along with their serial numbers. There's a foreman's confirmation note below. Let's have a look at the high engine seers reports. The vid screen blinks a few times. A message appears. Higher level of access required. View the recent entries of the instant log. Most of the entries contain nothing unusual. The last one, however, does catch your attention. It seems the sentries spotted armed individuals attempting to approach the excavation site undetected. The guards eliminated the trespassers, who upon examination were found to be members of a local gang. Okay, so a local gang's been trying to break in. It doesn't seem like that's necessarily related. I was just seeing why it had a thing there, but I think it's just saying that it's made a clue, like, we got a clue from it. Okay. I'm not going to, like, interrogate this guy right away. I'm going to go and investigate things first. Okay, so where does this... That takes you to the lower levels. How about over here? Inspect. Part of an ancient structure is buried under the rubble. This ruin was of no interest to the expedition. Okay. So we're going to head along this way. And down to the lower levels. Let's go. Okay. So, what we got? Oh. Is this our first fight? That is cool and creepy. An inhumanly tall figure encased in outlandish armor appears out of nowhere. The ornate helmet dips and a distorted otherworldly voice reaches your ears. I see you bear the pendant of Inquisitor Millicentilia. Greetings, emissary. May he steal our hearts so that we may banish all doubt of the righteousness of humanity. May he grant us the strength to bring just retribution upon the enemies of humanity. Sauer recites his prayer in a cold voice, keeping his eyes locked on the stranger. As indicated by a slight turn of the helmet, the armoured figure throws a cursory glance in the Psyker's direction. And may fate grant you the reason to subdue your innate aggression when you should. Enemy of humanity, draw our weapon. Unwise. The melodious voice remains sanguine in the face of danger. Hamar whistles. Inquisitor Millicentilia isn't squeamish about the tools she uses. She's brought in a xenos sorcerer, right under the Septima's nose. Heresy. The heresy of pride which spurs one to believe in one's own exceptionality, and the heresy of consorting with the enemies of humanity. You're one of the Aldari, sentient, highly evolved xenos, enemies of humanity. You have guessed my race, but I am no foe to you or your tribe. Inquisitor Millicentilia and I have forged a temporary alliance, one that benefits us both. Epion looks at the xenos with distaste and releases a breath. I must admit that the Inquisitor has always adhered to a principle of tolerance towards alien species capable of communication. A truly unique individual among your kind. Okay, so here's where I take it back a step. I'm assuming that this is a companion you can get, again, because they're on the main box of the game, and we seem to be getting, like, multiple companions here. So, if we were playing this through for real, I would 100% do the same thing I do in all the other games when I see a companion, which is immediately do anything I can to get that person recruited, right? And to keep that person in our party, and so on and so forth. And adopt a, role in the conversation that's going to lead to that. However, like, we're only doing this one scenario. So, maybe we just see what Death to Xenos does. I'm curious to see what happens. Oh? They just disappeared on us. Alright. So we just don't get their help. Okay. I'm intrigued to see where this goes, but let's take a very strict point of view on this. Ooh. Heresy? I see heresy. Religious symbols of the Maris Portum fanatics have been sketched by an inexpert and trembling hand. A clear attempt to imitate the real thing. Okay. Well, we can demolish this apparently. Also, what's this? Someone has ripped out the sacred circuits from the guts of the cogitator. The console is shattered and a bundle of sparkling cables protrudes from the casing. Grab that. I blew whatever this was up. Nice, we can clear the rubble with our athletics. And we can grab the goods. Code amulet. A heavy amulet of blued metal bearing an engraving in sacred code. The tech priest body looks, or has been severed in half. The cut looks unnaturally even. Okay, so we can check that out in the journal. Do we now have the dice? Do we now have the bisected body? Wait, we can research this? Oh, using one of the tools we were given. Identifying key features for comparison. These parameters will form the basis for analysis. Companion is willing to offer assessment. Ah, okay, so they can add extra stuff here. So, the other half of the body is missing and no trace of its movements could be found, as if it vanished into thin air. There is no scientific explanation for what could have cauterized the wounds, so that not even a drop of blood spilled from the body. The other wounds were inflicted posthumously, probably due to external impact, rockfall. The internal fluids left the body post-mortem, most likely due to rockfall. All across the primary wound area, the vessels and fluid tubes were cauterized at once. I've never seen such neat and clean wounds. Another one's willing to offer an assessment? Look at this clean cut. Or look at this clean cut. It's like it's been done with a las cutter, but the caliber is non-standard, so it's not an Inquisition issue weapon. So, something akin to a custom-sized las cutter. Complete. Okay, and this just gives us 3 new things. It doesn't actually do anything for us yet. It just tells us everything we can know about the body. So somebody cut this guy in half and then a bunch of rocks fell on them. Alright. Let's inspect this. Large four-toed footprint deeply embedded in the ground. The mud around it, I'm going to have to open this, there we go, has been churned up to cover the other tracks of the four-toed intruders. Okay. Oh, sorry, it wasn't letting me zoom out there for a second. Someone was attempting to cover up the presence of strange creatures at the excavation site. Mutants, potentially. Okay, cool. Head over here. Inspect this. Rip tent shows signs of claws and beaks. They could have been left here by those whose bodies have been altered by the Hab Zone's toxic environment. Okay. There's nothing in containers except for the smell of physaline that makes your throat itch. The workers could not have used up the entire supply of explosives. Someone must have stolen it from the excavation site. Did anyone else have anything they want to say on this? Oh, okay. What about this one? The ground is covered in iridescent stains. A thick, oily stench clogs your nostrils, but cannot completely mask the smell of blood soaked into the dirt. Scan. Registering signs of confrontation between two armed groups. Now I can install the Hollow Invoker here. Okay. I don't know what that's going to do, but I've done it. Expedition tent temporarily occupied by Inquisitor Millicentilia. Roll away the tractor using tech use. I don't know what the dots underneath it mean, but I'm sure they're important. Okay. Goods. Flame Shroud. At the start of their turn, the wearer's armored durability is increased by their willpower bonus divided by 2 for each burning unit in combat. Lasts until the start of the wearer's next turn. I mean, that's cool and all, but here's the way I see it. That's a cool looking cape. We should have a cool looking cape. There we go. Right. There are knife marks at the inside of the vat. Someone tried to scrape off the hardened leftover porridge. Oh. Tracks left by the steel-toed workboot are intermingled with numerous other prints. It's difficult to work out what happened here in the chronology of events. Got there in the end. Chronology? Chronology sounds better. Okay. I can boot down another Hollow Invoker here. So I'm assuming I put them all down and then it does something. Vid screen's lumens flicker furiously. Someone must have angered the machine spirit. Okay. Foreman's reports. Ooh. Location, excavation site, sector 4. Shift 138. Foreman Marto. Layers of rock removed. 18. Personnel losses. 3 workers caused collapse. Extracted items, 12 scrolls, 3 machine relics delivered to Magos. Proceeding as scheduled. A total of 3 disciplinary violations were observed during the shift, going outside the perimeter without authorization. The perpetrators were questioned thoroughly. Shift 162. Unsanctioned beliefs are confirmed to be spreading among the workers, which has led to acts of violence. Perpetrators were isolated. No intervention from Inquisitor M necessary. Requested a 4-hour shift extension as per the emergency protocol. Shift 175. 3 of the workers absconded to join the heretical sect. Mission to eliminate requested or waiting orders established a curfew for all personnel. Okay. So they were going to eliminate everybody. Yeah, that's not good if that gets out. That definitely could explain some of it. Okay. So we got the new information. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Okay. And then we can... Oh, we already completed it. That's fine. It also completes, I guess. Oh, we have another Hollow Invoker we can put over there. We also have this. The crates scattered around the camp have been crudely forced open. If there was ever anything of value inside, it's already been pilfered. Okay. So we now have Hollow Invoker. And then we can do the last one, and it's going to tell us what happened here, I assume. Ooh. Who ransacked the camp? Oh, okay. So I can choose different things. Ah. Interesting. Okay. Fragment of the column has splintered off and the metal near it has melted both pointing to a shot from a weapon. So you need to, like, figure out what exactly happened from the information you've got. Okay, well, let's leave here for now. Let's head back to the upper level and do our interrogation. I think that's better to do now, given that we have to make decisions as to what happened right now afterwards. So let's do this. Let's go speak to Gareth first. Let's go speak to Dariel. Okay, let's speak to this thing, or this guy. The old man looks up at you, exhaustion written in his empty gaze. His dry fingers fiddle mindlessly with the edges of his blood-stained rags. One of Millicent Tellia's acolytes nods to you. It's a rare fortune to see an acolyte of a dead Inquisitor not follow him to the grave on the Cabal's orders. Paying the acolytes not the slightest attention, Ipion gives the witness a cursory look before turning to you. Numerous signs of bruising, superficial damage to the surface layers of the skin, apparent loss of integrity in some of the smaller bones. The procedure was performed with sufficient expertise to ensure the witness would not expire, yet retain the ability to feel pain. Still, I would recommend refraining from further application of violence given the subject's age. If I don't like your answers, you're a dead man. The old man cowers under your gaze. This could be anything, master. Okay. We could start with this one, if we wanted to. Well, let's start with, tell me what you've already told the Inquisitor, and don't even think of hiding anything. Yes, master. I used to scoop grease off your food vats here, traded it for rations at the market. First time that great machine of yours went all quiet, I waited a little and came to see what this place was about. I saw intruders here with weapons, so I hid in one of them vats and they didn't spot me. That's where I've been hiding every time since. But now you've found me after all. He weakly jerks his shoulder in the direction of the acolytes. Describe the intruders. About a dozen of them there was. They had guns, scary folks, could have been bandits or such like. I didn't get a good look at them, but they weren't here for food vats, that's for sure. What do you know about the nightmares affecting the people in Maris Portum? Oh, I know about the sleep sickness. When the sea started shaking, that's when the nightmares came. Everyone came down with it. Those flock of repentance folks say it's the God Emperor warning us, telling us to repent. I don't know about any of that, master. I just want to get by. Tell me about this flock of repentance. Believers from his congregation, master. They've lost their way, though. They've all forgotten Saint Sylebius's name. And now they say everyone should cleanse themselves through pain. They say it's how we can serve the God Emperor and save ourselves from the nightmares. They have a leader. Fancy old name, I forget what it was. But I did see their marks around camp, written in blood they were. Have you noticed anything suspicious in Maris Portum? I have, master, I have. The old man perks up. There's those divers living by the shore, madmen all, I tell you. One day I was walking along the shore, seeing what the sea might have brought. I look over and see it's them divers chanting something, or maybe it was witchcraft, I couldn't tell. They started dumping corpses in the water. I took off running, it was horrible. I heard those apostates worship some sea creature like it's a saint. That's why they butcher people, to offer them to the beast. I haven't seen it myself, master, but it's what people say. Do you know who or what left the four-toed footprints? Millicent Tellia's acolytes exchange meaningful glances. Footprints, you say? Some accursed mutant, maybe. But none that I've seen, master, no. Crates of Physaline have gone missing from camp. What do you know about that? Ooh, we failed our interrogation check. Oh no. It was very unlikely, I think, right? Yes, yeah, it was 20% fail chance. Anyway, the old man grimaces, striving to recall anything at all, but to no avail. His body starts shaking violently. I don't remember, master. I don't know. Okay. Due to our diplomacy, we can get this last question. Is that everything? Don't forget, the more you tell me, the better your chances of living. The old man's gaze suddenly clears. The Baron. The Baron's orders were that no one was to come near this place. Those armed intruders, they looked like his lot. I have no further use for you. As I said, I am picking choices that I would naturally not pick if I was doing this for like a longer playthrough. So I just want to see what happens. What happens if we take like the most short-sighted approach to our situation? Let's see how it interacts. Right. We can maybe work this out. Oh, there's also goods over here, so we didn't get this while we were here, so let's do that as well. Okay, you can skip the ladder climb animation by clicking on a box. That's cool. Anything over here? Nope. Okay. Weird. Okay. So, let's see if there are any questions we can immediately answer. So, who attacked? It's not bog beasts. I think that's wrong. Where tracks from work yeah, from work boots here. Yeah. Not sure, but let's see what the options are. Do not belong to the workers. Expedition forces were taken away by force. Expedition members left the camp. Okay. What we got here? So who ransacked? I think it might be the Baron's men, because we got that through a check, so it's probably true. Blood in the dirt. Haha. Workers could not have used up the entire supply of explosives. And over this... Oh, wait, there's more over this way? Ripped tent shows signs of claws and beaks. They could have been left by people whose bodies have been altered by the Habzone's toxic stuff. With the four-toed intruders, which they didn't know anything about. Someone did that. Someone also lased that guy. But we got more over here as well, actually. Servitors at the bottom of the pit have frozen in unnatural poses. There are no apparent signs of damage, and they seem to ignore all commands and make no attempt to return to the camp. Ah. Interesting. Is there a way down further? I thought there was a way down further, which is what I just want to double check before I go anywhere else. No, I don't think there is. Okay. So let's make some assumptions. Why are there tracks from work boots? Who ransacked? Who was at the excavation site? Who attacked it? Let's do it for who ransacked the camp. Actually, let's first of all look at our clues. See if they've got anything else in here. Okay. Sinister rituals from the divers. What's this? Oh, remove conclusion? Divers killed the expedition members for ritual purposes and disposed body in the sea. Why would I want to remove that? Okay, so I can either take it or remove it. Oh, I see. So I guess I'm going to accept that as a conclusion. Any other things I need to conclude? No. So that's what we think is happening there then. And we don't know what's going on with the explosives either. So we're going to say the divers killed the expedition members for ritual purposes and disposed of the body on the sea. Yeah, in the sea. So, it's not that one. Fanatics took the supplies. The bandits took the supplies. Let's say fanatics took the supplies. Okay. Who attacked the excavation site? We think it was fanatics, right? The Baron. The Baron's orders that no one was to come near this place. They also attacked the site. Okay. And then tracks from the work boots. Expedition members were taken away by force. That's what we think it was, right? Yeah. Does that seem correct? Or are these just meant to be like things for you to work out whether it seems correct or not? So how do I like confirm it? Or... oh, this was who was attacked. Expedition members? Or fanatics? Ah, okay. But we think it was mostly fanatics who were left here. Bandits were attacking. Expedition members were taken away. And the fanatics ransacked the camp. Is that what... are we happy with that? Or do we think the bandits took the supplies? No, I think the bandits took the supplies. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm happy. So our timeline of events. Foreman at the camp noticed that people were starting to join this cult. He's like, hey, I've requested that they all get eliminated. At the same time, the Baron was watching the camp. And the Baron then decided to attack. So bandits took the supplies and the people. And then the people who were here were fanatics because that's the cult that was sent to be eliminated. Yeah, that makes sense, I think. Tell me why I'm wrong. A cold half-smile plays on Millicentilia's lips. Did I not mention you would be expected to work with Lathair? I have no time for your puritanical outbursts. You're working with Xenos. This is heresy. Millicentilia's lips curve into a smile. Says the person who traded his own mentor for a Xeno artifact to help deal with the Tyrant Star. You know, as well as I do, that the end justifies the means. Don't act like you believe your hands are still clean. I question the witness. Do you plan to inform me every time you sneeze, draw your conclusions, and submit a full report, acolyte? I'll return later. Wait, so can I make a report here, or... no, not enough evidence. Okay, I will make my full report. Have you learned anything useful? The Inquisitor turns her gaze to on Cog. An Ogren with enhanced intelligence. You don't come across too many of those outside the Astra Militarum. Interesting escort you have. Cog, who up until now was uninterestingly digging a hole in the ground with the tip of his boot, looks up in surprise. They usually tell me I'm smart, not that I'm interesting. I'm ready to discuss what happened at the camp. Are you sure you have not missed anything? I'm sure I have a working theory. Okay, she's judging me. It seems there was a skirmish in the camp over supplies, but I am not yet convinced of your conclusions. What about the strange footprints you found? I assure you there are no four-toed mutants in my expedition team. You think threats from some ragtag bandits would induce an armed Inquisition expedition to leave their posts? I find that hard to believe. Millicentilia impatiently drums her fingers on her holster. Some of your conclusions are tenuous, too tenuous. I cannot rely on inaccurate information. The Inquisitor snores. Either way, we have one indisputable piece of evidence, the tracks leading out of the camp. Look, they are crisp, clearly made by heavy work boots. But I already said my people would never leave their posts willingly. Millicentilia looks at you. Find out where they lead. Can you manage that? Something strange is afoot in Maris Portum. My agent, Rufinus Scragg, has been working undercover in this god emperor forsaken place for several months already. We were due to meet at the excavation site, but the latest sequake cut off our communication. Track him down and help him with his mission, if necessary. Tell him that Lady M sent you. He will aid you in your investigation. Okay. Cool, so we got some more clues. Am I permitted to know the particulars of Agent Scragg's mission? I tasked Scragg with investigating a clan of swamp mutants on the outskirts of the Hab Zone and assessing their usefulness to the Tyrantine Cabal. These are his reports. Study them. That will be enough to start with. A quick scan of the reports leaves you in no doubt. The bog beasts the Inquisitor is referring to are the clan of Xenos, the Kroot. Evidently, Millicent Tilia and her people prefer to use this unsophisticated nickname given to the Xenos by the ignorant lower hive dwellers in order to rid the clan of unwanted attention or perhaps somehow use the Kroot to their own benefit. Ah, okay, so I'm starting to think that maybe I would have got some more info that could have allowed us to go down the bog beast path had I not immediately just said, "You're Xenos, I'm not working with you," to the Aldari. How will I recognize him? The Inquisitor holds out a small portable device displaying a scowling man with burn scars over half his face. Rufinus prefers to cover his face, but if you pay close attention you will spot the other signs, his augmented lower left leg, or his tattoos. The image on the device changes, you see an assortment of unremarkable symbols. Memorize them, acolyte, this is how my people recognize each other. Any other questions? Well, these so-called bog beasts, they're Kroot, aren't they? Millicent Tilia's eyebrow twitches, but she gives no other sign of surprise. Clever, indeed, it refers to the Kroot, are carnivorous xenos native to different parts of the galaxy. This clan is settled on the outskirts of the Ham Zone and has been under observation by the Ordo Xenos for some time. Keep its existence a secret until the mission is complete. Alright, let's start our double crossing. Sister Septima asked me to find out what your agent is doing on the outskirts of Maris Portum. Think carefully about what you will tell her. Betray the Inquisition and it won't just be your career that comes to a swift and invidious end. Okay, I'm ready to begin investigating. The case is not as simple as it appears. Do not rush to any conclusions. Turn over every stone in Maris Portum before you send your case report. Your task is to dig until you uncover the truth, not to pin the blame on the first person you meet. Find out what happened to my workers. I hope you understand me, acolyte. Okay. This is kind of cool. I can see what they're going with in this game. It's like investigating, getting information, drawing conclusions without full information, potentially getting different information depending on what paths you decide to go down. It's very, very cool. I like this concept for a game. I really like games that let you kind of play a detective type role, because I think they lead to quite interesting gameplay. So this is lining up to be pretty fantastic for me. But for now, it's lining up to be the end of the episode. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.